said otherwise she was going to put them down. She said
Yeah.
she just can't.
I stopped in to see her after Rice Lake last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Where does she live?
Linden Station,
Oh,
not that
that's right.
not that far off of the interstate. Maybe a mile off the interstate.
She said she'll go to Morocco probably with her son, daughter, one of them.
Got that big house all by herself. Jesus Christ. I said, need to get an apartment. Well, I got my 13-year-old dog. I can't do that. So,
Yeah, and she got those horses. So she said that Darlene comes and takes care of them.
yeah, the neighbors help out with those. Here comes the judge. He's going to be, might be on time.
The one in light shirt?
Yeah, and kind of the, not orange. What the hell color would you call that?
Well, who's supposed to be the timer?
Probably him. I brought a watch along just in case they screw it up. I don't even know where the, oh, there's the wire right here. I'm gonna have to stand where you are. There's the wires right there. They're near here anyway. This thing is all one deal. I'm all right for a while. The time they get here, it'll be tomorrow. I wonder why Burns don't race. I mean, they're not beating anybody in Chicago. Why don't they come here with these horses?
We get lines off.
I mean, they ought to be here. I mean, they're not beating anybody. Have you looked
No,
at
I
them?
know. I know. I don't know what happened to the Gauls either.
But O'Burns, they train in what, Marengo? Oh, Cliff?
I don't know.
Cliff O'Byrne, the doctor, the professor, his daughter and his daughter on the board? What's her name? Why can't I think of her name?
Can't think of any names anymore.
Cliff O'Byrne's daughter. She's been on the board since
Cliff O'Byrne?
Dr. Cliff O'Byrne's daughter.
Yeah. Betsy or Becky.
Becky. There you go. Becky
Swinehurst.
Swinehart.
That's what I was going to say, but I wasn't sure. I like that purple towel.
All right, I'm gonna start flapping my jaws. It's a driver change I don't know about yet.
No, I don't know who's going to give out those things either. Those plaques.
Checking. 1 2 1 2. I'm gonna call him pretty soon. I'm gonna call the horses out of the barn.
Perfect.
Attention back in the barn here, calling the first field, race 1. Cutter-Rug, Shark Reality, Unfiltered, It's a Virgin. We're calling race number 1. And good afternoon, good late morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mineral Point Harness Racing. Beautiful day. We do have a couple changes in the program, I believe. Maybe a driver change here or there once they get that from the judges. They'll let me know. But I do know in the third race we're going to have a driver change because Mel Mullet's good, but not good enough to drive 2 in the same race.
Well, let me see. I don't think anybody's given me any changes. He said the third race?
Yeah.
I don't have a change.
Well, there's got to be one though because he can't drive
Yeah.
2 of them.
Just a minute, I'll find out.
Again, we hope you picked up a program, folks. Again, just 3 races, but also, of course, a lot of financial support from the people here and various people in business in the Mineral Point area. Appreciate all they do. In front of your cover are Aspen Ridge Home and Garden And the Midway, serving a full menu, best pizzas in town. Ross's Soil Service, Morrissey Printing, Mound City Bank, Larry Springer, Wisconsin Electric, Don's Tire Service. Don Laufenberg again owns a lot of good racehorses that race down in the big city of Chicago. Is that Garden
Do you
Funeral
have some
Home?
driver changes? Is it somebody that we haven't been given?
Al's Towing, Farmers Bank, Garden Funeral Home, Pointer Cafe, just mentioned Tony's Tap,
That made
Ivy
my ass-
Construction, again the Ivy name very well known in harness racing in the state of Wisconsin. For years they raced horses.
So Quentin.
Kerry Carpentry.
All right, bye.
Again, the officials for today are in your program also. If you take a look at it, Danny Clark is our presiding judge, Associate Judge Gary Schmidt, a couple of guys that race harness horses, announcer, that's me, Woody Woodbridge, starter, Wisconsin Harness Horse Association, Dale Maldenauer doing the starting judge today. Race Secretary Gabe Wand out of Dodgeville, clerk Lori Douglas, and track maintenance is Paul Kearns.
A correction on the clerk is Jeannie Marcus.
What's that?
Jeannie Marcus is the clerk. That should be changed.
Never heard of her. Where is she?
She's just new in the business. Change Lori Douglas to Jeannie.
Lori Douglas.
Should be Jeannie.
Little change in your program. The clerk of the course today is Miss Jeannie Marcus. She owns some darn good trotters that she raises right at her place. And a couple of them are racing up in Minnesota right now, racing very, very successfully for her. Marcus family, many, many years in harness racing. While we await the field, folks, let's all rise, remove our hats. As Mr. Ken Walker out of Oshkosh leads us with the playing of the national anthem.
They don't have any sound in the back.
Thank you, Ken.
They
Nope.
don't have any sound in the back stretch, so I'm going down to see the sound man.
Let's see if this is it. Check 1, 2.
Try it again.
Testing 1, 2.
Ask them now if they have sound back there.
Back in the barn area, can you hear the PA system? You can't hear it? That's a yes. What if I switch mics? Barn area, can you hear us? Excellent. Both ears are working
Scott
great.
just called and said they didn't have any sound.
Well, that's nice over there. I don't like all the noise. Enough of it last night.
What were you boys doing, dancing last night?
Yeah, they were.
I would have never thought the guys from Mineral Point would get carried away.
Shocked. I went.
Yeah. probably the first time in the century that's happened.
Well, the good ones are too old to do it anymore. That'd be me and Smitty.
If the good ones all died, they drowned. I'd like to also remind you, folks, that you can actually watch harness racing live on Facebook. How you do that, you go to your Facebook page and search for WI Harness Racing VIP Insiders. That's WI, as in Wisconsin, Harness Racing VIP Insiders. Like the page and you will receive notifications when racing is live. Again, thanks to Kay Pankowski for doing this for us all summer long. And also you can watch the races video if you go to the Wisconsin Harness Horse Association site on your computer. You'll find a place to hit the tab for videos, and the races probably today's won't be on for about 2 or 3 days, but any place we've raced so far this summer and past years is at that site. So Wisconsin Harness Horse Association, and you go to the video, and you got it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. All right, our first race is making their way to the track. Our first field, we got our horses warming up yet. Horse right in front of right now, actually, that is Unfiltered, folks, coming off of a double heat win up at Rice Lake, Barron County Fair last week with Joey Prevost in the race bike. It was a runner-up pace of the year last year in Wisconsin, Unfiltered. The first start of the year for your two-horse, Shark Reality. And Cutter Rug's been racing up in Minnesota. Did race with us at Rice Lake last week, was third over there in a mile and 2-1. They come on parade again. Mel Mullet driving Cutter Rug out of the Schneider stable out of California. Mel Mullet. Shark Reality, the 9-year-old by Shady Shark Hanover. Owned and trained by Wayne and Sarah Weaver. Gabe Wand in the race bike. Unfiltered to get out of the Prevost stable of Green Bay. Joe Prevost, trainer, driver, and the 4-horse It's a Virgin, also out of the Weaver stable. Make Wayne Weaver the driver of the 4-horse It's a Virgin.
Okay.
So we got
You got Quentin Schneider on that one horse in the third race. Should be no other changes.
Okay, so Mullet, Wand, Prevost, and Weaver. And this race is being sponsored by Farmers Implement of Mineral Point. Again, if you're new to harness racing, this is a half-mile track. We race 1 mile twice around. Meet the starting gate on the back stretch. Look over there at the quarter pole. You see all the rail birds leaning over the fence. Right in front of them is our starting gate. Dale Moldenauer is our starting judge. Horses take their final warm-up score by the stands. I hope you picked one out. I think we're doing pick winner. This is going by right now. That is It's a Virgin, the Weaver stable. First start again this year for both of the Weaver horses. Shark Reality again, first start. Gabe Wand is in the race bike. Then Cutter Rug with Mel Mullet. Again, coming off of a start at Rice Lake last week, finishing 3rd and 4th, a couple big miles up there in 2-1. Of course, Unfiltered, coming off a double heat win up there. And It's a Virgin again, first start of the year. So, looking for a lot of the action out of Cutter Rug and Unfiltered. Again, It's a Virgin's first start of the year, same as Shark Reality. Sometimes it takes them a while to get kind of tightened up. They've been training all spring, but have not raced yet. Only a couple. Cutter Rug has been busy this year. 23 starts already, made over $8,800. Unfiltered, 2 starts, 2 wins, and won $500 last week at Rice Lake. Starting judge is Carla Pacers. First race of the day, folks. Sit back and enjoy Class C first heat. Cutter Rug with Mel Mullet. Shark Reality with Gabe Wand, Unfiltered, Joey Prevost, It's a Virgin with Wayne Weaver. Pacers moving in, still waiting Unfiltered to catch that gate. Joey's laying off a little bit. Of course, gets a little bit of rammy at him sometime. And he'll be there when they say go. And here they come, your first race of the afternoon at Mineral Point. And first away, early speed right there, Cut a Rug, and It's a Virgin right now into the turn. Make that Shark Reality, It's a Virgin that is, and Shark Reality, and Unfiltered to follow them all. Back down the back stretch for the first time on the front again. Cut a Rug, Mel Mullet by a length and a half. In the 2-hole again, Shark Reality by a length and a half. Pacing third, It's a Virgin, and Unfiltered now closing, catching the field quickly. Down the back lane of the quarter-mile mark. On the front end, no change in the order. Looking for Unfiltered to make a move early. Around that lower turn, Unfiltered's now on the outside as Joey wants to let him roll just a little bit. On the front end again, Cut a Rug, the quarter in 32 seconds. Shark Reality, the 2-hole. Now up on the outside very quickly again, Unfiltered with Joe Prevost. He's hung on the limb, and fourth right now is It's a Virgin. They turn down that lane for the first time on the front end. No change in the order. Unfiltered's in the middle of the racetrack now trying to get to the lead. They get down to the halfway mile mark, and Filtered does get the job done. It's Unfiltered and Cut a Rug. Unfiltered, Cut a Rug right there. It's a Virgin. And Shark Reality around the top of the turn. The half was in.
3 and 1.
103 and 1, 103 and 1 of the half. Around the top of the turn, Unfiltered on the outside. On the front end, Cut a Rug's got him parked out again. Up on the move from far back. Shark Reality on the move right now, as is It's a Virgin. They race down the backside to the 3/4 mile mark. Racing like a team again on the inside. Cut a Rug on the outside, Unfiltered. Head to head, nose to nose, tail to tail. Third right now again is Shark Reality, and then It's a Virgin around that lower turn for the final time. Less than a quarter to go. On the front end, Cut a Rug. Cut a Rug continuing to hang on by a length and a half. Unfiltered's again losing some ground as they turn for home. They drive down the lane on the front. 133 and 2. A battle right now looming on the inside. Cut a Rug. Unfiltered trying to get to him. Right there, Shark Reality. They get to the half. It is 1, 3, 2, and 4 at the wire. 1, 3, 2, and 4. Gentlemen, number 1 was 1. 2 was 3. 3 was 2, and 4 was 4. Tap out. It's 1, 3, 2, 4. Big mile, 2, 3, and 4/5. Got down to the quarter in 32 seconds. The half, 103 and 1. 3/4, 133 and 4. The mile, 2, 3, and 4. Last quarter in 30 seconds. Cut a Rug again, cutting the entire mile that time for Mr. Mullet. Oh, 5-year-old by Mystery Chase out of a rock and roll Hanover. And there is Cut a Rug, folks, with Mel Mullet. Started racing. His first drive of his career was here last year, I believe, at Mineral Point. He's been driving horses. He was runner-up driver of the year last year in the state, I believe. We didn't have a lot of races, but he was right there. Mel Mullet again with a horse leased by OK's Racing, QK's Racing out of Sacramento. Quentin Schneider's a trainer, Mel Mullet in the race bike. Nice job, Mel. Nice job, Cut a Rug, a lot of work. Again, top down, 1 was 1, 2 was 3, 3 was 2, and 4 was 4. 2, 3, and 4 the time of the mile. No changes in the second race. Looking for Marked Magic, Dance Traveler, and Pathologist. Class B.
Wax his helmet.
Don't you,
I got some dirt on first race.
or you mean make it a little bigger for his fit his head?
That's the end of the year.
Yeah, I was giving him shit at Rice Lake.
No, it's today too.
It was funny. He wins with Millennial up at Rice Lake, and that Kim from at Stables out to the track, holding a horse, and he hands her the lines, so she jumps on the bike. He thought he was going to give him a ride back to the barn. She just took off. Said, bye-bye. So here's Gabe walking across the infield.
Well, wasn't that too bad?
Yeah,
I'd like to see that.
yeah.
You didn't get a video of that, did you?
He might have. Anyway,
Jeannie, did you go up to Rice Lake?
No, I didn't get a video of it.
all right, we've got our
Farther we
three
get, the farther it is.
equine steeds on the track. They'll be on parade momentarily. Marked Magic again. Looking good, 1 and 2, 3 at the Rice Lake. Find a common denominator. Dance Traveler raced up there, was second. Got beat by the Prom Queen. They went in 2-1. Dance Traveler is no slouch. Pathologist, again, a good, steady horse. He'll be right there. Thank you, Mr. Walker. They come on parade again. This is Marked Magic by Robin Clements out of Sacramento, California, trained by Quentin Schneider. Gabe Wan doing the driving today out of Mineral Point. Dance Traveler, also owned by QKS Racing out of Sacramento. Schneider the trainer, Mel Mullet driving this one. Won the last trip. And Pathologist, owner, trainer, driver Michael McGee out of Bonduel, Wisconsin. That's about 20 miles west of Green Bay on Highway 29. So again, the order in which they go to the gate, if this is your first time in a harness race, again, it's the draw for the positions. In other words, they enter their horses, and then the judges have to get the dice out, and they've got to roll the dice. And you want number one, you want to go the shortest mile possible, so that's a good spot to be in for Marked Magic. But a 3-horse field, we shouldn't worry about too many traffic problems. In days of old, we'd have 7 or 8 or 9 in these races. Then if you didn't draw well, you were in trouble right away. But 3-horse field should not be a problem if you draw 1, 2, or 3.
Just can't find much for Brothers for fairs anymore, can you?
No. I don't know where Broncos is going to race, unless he goes back to Illinois.
Last year,
I don't know if they raised the age.
but you know, he didn't race him after our meet here last year. He didn't take him to Morrison or anywhere.
He said he had enough, told me.
The old horse raced good though last week.
All right, take your final look at it before they go to the gate. How many of you guys think Marked Magic is going to win this race? How many think number 1's going to win? Anybody? Oh yeah, you're listening a little bit. Oh, Dance Traveler. Anybody there a Dance Traveler fan? Whoa, poor Dance Traveler. What about Pathologist, the doctor? Yeah, you don't want to get to know that doctor very well. You know what they do. Of course, you're not going to remember when they work on you. Marked Magic. I thought it was Marst Magic at Rice Lake, but I was corrected by the announcer from Running Aces. It's kind of like the French version, like M-A-R-C is Mark, not Mars. So it's Marked Magic. Dance Traveler, the 6-year-old. And Pathologist, the 10-year-old. We got an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 10-year-old. All horses have been around, all seasons well. Got the top jock in Wisconsin the last 35 years. Gabe Wan did the race bike, so he's going for year number 36, I believe, and he's only 40 years old. Go figure. Starting judge, Mr. Dale calls him to the gate. Dale Mildenauer. Marked Magic moving in. Dance Traveler about a length off. Pathologist about 3 lengths off the gate. Pathologist is now moving in with Michael McGee. You don't want to get left at the gate leaving. Tough enough to keep up. They're all on their tiptoes right now. Class B first heat. Memory of the longs. And here they come, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you like? First away in the middle of the racetrack, that's Pathologist, going to battle right away with Dance Traveler. Around the top of the turn, Pathologist on the outside. He's about 4 wide down the backside of the turn. On the front end, Dance Traveler. In the 2-hole again, Marked Magic. Up on the outside, Pathologist again going that long route with Mike McGee in the race bike. They race down the back lane now, trying to get to the quarter-mile mark. On the front end, again, that's Pathologist, taken over by a length and a half, almost 2. Right there, the 2-hole right now, Marked Magic.
30 and change.
30 and change to the quarter. You figure out the change around the lower turn on the front end, again, 30 and 2/5. That is Pathologist. In the 2-hole, Marked Magic pacing third right now. Make that dance traveler, then Mark Magic. Down the lane for the first time, racing to the halfway mile mark. No change in the order. Again, Pathologist cutting every step of this mile since they got up at the top of the turn. On the front end, Pathologist takes him to the half. Dance Traveler and Mark Magic.
101 and 3.
101 and 3. They picked it up big time that second quarter. They're rolling, folks, around the top of the turn. Someone's going to get tired. A half and 1 and 3. Looking down the back lane, Pathologist by a length and a half. Right there again, Dance Traveler and Mark Magic third. Mark Magic make a move right now. Gabe Wan, again, driver of the year for the last 3 quarters. On the front end, that is Pathologist. Here comes Mark Magic on the outside going after him. Third right now, Dance Traveler.
132.
132 around that turn. Pathologist right now. He is getting caught and passed at this time by Mark Magic. They drive around that turn. On the outside, Mark Magic goes to the rail to take the lead. And down the lane they come. Mark Magic, a battle for second now between Pathologist and Dance Traveler. They get to the wire on the front end again, and it is your rail horse, Mark Magic, a battle for second money. Close between 2 and 3.
2 minutes and 3/5.
Wow. 2 was 2 and 3 was 3. Again, this race sponsored in memory of Tom and June Long. Long's raced horses for many, many years. Tom, I believe, was an instructor down in Platteville. June, very active harness racer in the state, very involved in our association, very involved in racing here. Here's a winning combo. Gabe Wan, on his way to his 35th straight year of winning the driving championship in Wisconsin, and he's only 40 years old, so do the math. He started young. Nice job, Gabe. Mark Magic again, owned by Clements out of Sacramento, California. Schneider Stable again, trainer. Schneider's stable's really out of Alberta, Canada. Quint's Canadian. But because he just heads south from Alberta right into California and races there all winter. And that's where his stable will be going right after Running Aces closes in mid-September. I really appreciate the fact that people are still trading, buying horses. And really appreciate the fact that the Schneider Stable, again, like they did last year, agreed to come down here, even though they raced last night in Aces with other horses, I believe, come down here and race today. Did they advertise this very much, you know? Did anybody know about this in town? Was it advertised?
It's a bad time of the year.
Yeah. It's tough to get people to want to come out and watch 3 horses race, too.
It is.
And they aren't, you know, you guys aren't racing, so usually you bring
Right.
family or friends or whatever.
Right. Could be the last, maybe one more year,
Yeah, I think you're right.
'cause I'm getting off the fair board.
Are you?
So that's one less person that can fight for them.
Yeah,
We
we-
have half the board right now that wants to get rid of those buildings.
Oh, really? Again, thank you, Mr. Walker. Great job. On parade for your third race. Major Mac, Quint Schneider in the race buck. Quint Schneider is the trainer, and today he is the driver of the QS stable. Millennial, out of the Wan stable, Gabe Wan in the race buck. And $3 grand also out of the Schneider stable, Mel Mullet doing the driving. Nice horses in here. Again, that Major Mac horse has made over 32,000. Pacing miles at Aces and 57, 155, etc. Millennial pacing miles at Hawthorne and 153 in Chicago. Placed a mile in Cambridge, Illinois in 159 already. Been in 54 at Hawthorne. One at Rice Lake in 158. Millennial being his home track with the top jock behind him probably would be the better choice in this race. But you got to race the race. We'll find out. $3,000 again out of the Snyder stable. Mel's in a race bike. He won at Rice Lake in 2-3, came back in 2-1, so $3,000 is a very, very competitive equine, as are the other two. Get this race sponsored. How much do you think they're going to go, Pooch? I'm saying 58.
You know, I don't think they'll go that much.
No?
Last race went in 2 minutes, maybe so.
It depends upon where the guy in green and white's sitting at the 3/4 pole. Starting judge has called the field for the third race. Class A, first heat. Sponsored by the Douglas family in memory of Eric. They move into the gate. Quinn Snyder will be at the gate with Major Mac. Next door, Millennial. Gabe One in the bike and Mel Mullet, the 3-horse there with $3,000. A lot of speed in this field, rough 3. Not a lot of quantity, but a lot of quality. And here they come, your third race of the day. It'll get us halfway through the program. Each field races twice. And here they are at first away. Look at that $3,000. See, come and catch me if you can into the turn. $3,000 right there, Millennial on the doorstep, and Major Mac sits third. Around the turn, a little bit of dust right now. $3,000 again. Mel's hanging on, trying to save some of that horse. $3,000 wants to roll. Mel says, "Come on, buddy, we got to save some of that fuel." Down the backside, Millennial right there says, "Fine, I'll sit here. You can cut the front end for me." And third again. That is Major Mac with Quinn Snyder. They get down to the quarter-mile mark. We'll see how much this quarter is and let you know what kind of a mile we're going to have. At the quarter right now, $3,000. 30 and 3. 30 and 3, actually a soft quarter for this bunch around the lower turn. On the front end, again, $3,000 with Mullet, keeping this horse involved. Right there, Millennial, getting that good 2-hole trip. And behind him again, that is Major Mac. Don't change in the order. Down to the halfway mile mark. Getting the horse with the track record here in command. That is Millennial with Gabe Wand in the race bike. And third right there, $3,000 at the half. Again, Mel still trying to save some of that horse.
101 and 4.
A half and a 101 and 4. 101 and 4. Both quarters running. That one a little quicker that time. Around the turn, top of the turn, they'll head down the backside. Again, $3,000. Look for some company in another little while as looks like Juan is trying to wake up Millennial a little bit. And here he goes. Up on the outside, Millennial trying to get at him. $3,000, Millennial right there, and Major Mac at the 3/4 mile mark. On the inside again, it is $3,000, not giving it up easily.
132 and 2.
132 and 2, 132 and 2. Again, $3,000 is going to have a lot of pace after those kind of fractions, as will Millennials, who are going to battle it out to the wire. And who do you like as they drive for home? $3,000 on the inside. The horse in the white face in the middle of the racetrack. That's Millennial going after him. They drive the wire. Millennial's got him right now by about a half a length. They get to the wire. It'll be Millennial 2, 3, and 1 across the wire. 2, 3, 1. Good race.
2, 1 and 2. Case Gabe questions if there is.
All right, folks, coming down the racetrack into the winner's circle. He holds the track record here. This is Millennial. Won that trip in 2, 1, and 2. He's not sure if he wants to come down here or not. I guess I will. Take a look at what he's wearing. If you're new to racing, he's got hobbles on, keeps him on stride. He's got a pair of knee boots on, protects those knees. He's got a head pull on the left side. Got a Murphy blind on the left side and a regular blind bridle on this side. Well, you can't see too much. He doesn't have to look at Gabe very often, which he's happy about. I pick on Gabe too much, folks. He's a good driver, though. He's the top jock here in Badgerland for the last 100 years, it seems. The Eric Douglas Memorial, ladies and gentlemen. Get on with it, getting's good there, Mr. Collins. Congratulations. Tap down, 1 was 3, 2 was 1, and 3 was 2. Tap down, 3, 1, 2. The quarter time, 30 and 3/5. The half, 101 and 4/5. 3/4, 132 and 4/5. The mile, 2, 1 and 2/5. Big mile. Cutter Rug can win both. All right, you guys really go out on a limb, aren't you? What about Unfiltered? Wasn't too far away, but a length off. Anybody for Unfiltered? There's got to be some Unfiltered fan. I knew we had to wake up that Prevost clan, definitely. Come that far to cheer your horse down, we got to hear from you, right? All right, starting judge Dell has called the horses and the drivers, if you will, to the gate for our 4th race. Sponsored by Susie's Pointer Cafe at a Mineral Point. Again, the winner, besides getting a piece of the purse, which is on the light side, also we get a $75 gas check from Quick Trip. Sponsored by, in this case, Susie's Pointer Cafe. They move into the gate. Cutter Rug. Unfiltered will move in. Then Shark Reality's on the gate. It's a Virgin is on the gate. Again, Unfiltered laying off a little bit. Leaving one horse out of it early. Here they come. Not a good start for Unfiltered. They gave him 15 lengths right away. Joey, first away. Cutter Rug right there. Shark Reality. And it's the Virgin. Then we go up the racetrack to Unfiltered after the start. Around the top of the turn early right now on the front end. Cutter Rug by a length and a half right there. That is Shark Reality. It's the Virgin closing third up the racetrack to Unfiltered. Down the back stretch for the first time on the motor again. That is Cutter Rug by a length and a half in the 2-hole. Shark Reality and It's the Virgin. And comes Unfiltered down to the quarter-mile mark. On the front end, no change in the order. Now everybody's sitting still. 32 and 1 to the quarter, 32 and 1. Again, Unfiltered trying to close that gap, but a long way to go. Around that lower turn again. Cutter Rug by maybe a length and a half, almost 2 now. Shark Reality right there. It's a Virgin, third by about 3 more. Up the racetrack to Shark Reality, make that Unfiltered. And down the lane for the first time at the half-mile mark. They're just about there. On the motor again, Cutter Rug with Mel Mullet right there, Shark Reality. And it's a Virgin and Unfiltered trying to catch him. They're at the half.
4 and 3.
1, 4 and 3 to the half. 104 and 3. Into the clubhouse, turn on the front end again. Cutter Rug by a length. They're right there. Nose to helmet. That is Shark Reality. Up on the outside, it's a Virgin now out of the Weaver stable. They're going to battle it out. And pacing fourth again, Unfiltered, still closing that gap. Down the backside on the motor. Shark Reality, Cutter Rug pacing right on. Shark Reality right there. And it's the Virgin back to the rail. Catching the field right now, Unfiltered. Now too far to come perhaps, but on the move. Look at Unfiltered pace a little bit on the outside. Now third on the move. They got a horse race. 136 around the lower turn. Cutter Rug. Right there, Shark Reality. Unfiltered, a long way to go. Right there, it's the Virgin along the rail. And down the stretch they come. Cutter Rug cuts the mile again. Down to the wire. Cutter Rug right there. Shark Reality. Unfiltered. It's a Virgin. They get to the wire. At the wire it'll be 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5 and 2.
Wonder why I got away so bad. Reads this way. 1 was 1. 2 was 2. 3 was 3 and 4 was 4. Same way they went to the gate for the first trip. Top down. 1 was 1, 2 was 2, 3 was 3 and 4 was 4. 2 5 and 2 fifths. Good mile. A quarter, 32 and 1 fifth. They got down to the half and 104 and 3. They came the last bit of it pretty good. 136 and 2. The mile 2 5 and 2. So the lead horse got to the wire at the half and 104 and 3. And at that time, Unfiltered was probably a good 15 lengths off the leaders. So you know he had to come a big last quarter to catch that field. So big mile for him. Again, the had a battle a long way, didn't get away very well. Trailed off, lost interest, finally got involved again going down the backside. So horse has got a lot of pace, just got to get a few things working out. Yeah, he come a hell of a last quarter.
Right? He come a better last half.
Yeah.
He probably was back, if he was back 15 at the half, and he probably got beat 4.
Mm-hmm.
So they come a half in a minute and 4 fifths. I'll bet he paced a half in 15 and 4.
What that horse needs is to get away
A year ago, all he did, he'd fly in the straightaways and run in the turns
yeah,
here.
yeah.
And they straightened, did something.
Well, they worked on that. They injected his hocks. His hocks were bad.
Well, he's a good bred horse.
Yeah. There's your winner, folks. Check 1, 2. There's the winning. Cut a rug again with Mel Mullet. Trained by Quid Snyder. Owned by QKS Racing out of Sacramento. 2 5 and 2 against Susie's Pointer Cafe with the trophy and the $75 gas card going to the Schneider stable.
2 weeks ago. But I haven't seen
Kim did.
Who?
Kim or John or both, was it?
Yeah, it was kind of both of itself.
It was at their house.
Woody,
Second.
this is the second race.
Yeah, Reed's the third race. This is Idell Bird's race. That's what they're correcting you on.
All right, thanks for the correction. The air is so thin up here that the announcer is starting to lose it a little bit. This one's in memory of Idle Bird, not Remley's coming up the next one. They go to the gate again. Mark Magic on the inside, Dance Traveler, and Pathologist with Michael McGee in the race bike. Last time out, they went in 2 minutes and 3 fifths. Let's see if Mark Magic can double up again. Or perhaps Dance Traveler or Pathologist may have other ideas. And here they come. In memory of Idle Bird, first away again, Mark Magic right there. Dance Traveler and Pathologist, as Michael will probably drop to the rail now. Get a little dusty in his throat down the back side. On the front edge, he is a little dusty back there, ladies and gentlemen. On the front end again, Mark Magic by about a length and a half. In the 2-hole, Dance Traveler and Pathologist again with Michael McGee right there now as he catches up to the leaders. They race down with a quarter-mile mark. Everybody's happy where they're at right now in the early going. Mark Magic by a length and a quarter right there. Dance Traveler and Pathologist. They get to the quarter in.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. That's a snappy quarter around the lower turn again. Mark Magic. Dance Traveler and Pathologist. The good doctor sits third as they turn down the lane for the first time. Last time out, they paced a mile in 2 minutes and 3 fifths. This mile could be just as quick. They're rolling pretty good as they get down to the halfway mile mark on the front end again. It is Mark Magic. With Gabe wanted the bike right there with the yellow hood on his back. And that is Dance Traveler and Pathologist Mike McGee. The half and 102, they backed up a little bit. Let's see if Michael's going to pull early or wait a while. Looks like he wants to go early. Down the backside, on the front end again, Mark Magic, Dance Traveler. Here comes Pathologist on the outside, trying to get at your leaders. On the front end, Mark Magic now kicks it into one more gear as he senses a horse come up alongside of him. On the front end, Mark Magic on the outside, Pathologist trying to go eye to eye right now and nose to nose. 132 and 2 around that lower turn again. Pathologist backs off a little bit. On the front end, Mark Magic continues to cut the mile. In the 2-hole again, that is Dance Traveler and Pathologist. They drive the wire again. Mark Magic looking to double up now with one in the race bike. Mark Magic right there. Dance Traveler tries to get at him, and Pathologist. Good horse race.
2, 1, and 2.
Traveled a mile, 2-1 and 2/5. To the gate, 1, 2, 3. Mark Magic, Dance Traveler Pathologist. So Mark Magic again, a double heat winner. Mile again, a good quick mile, 2-1 and 2/5. They were rolling these horses. Quarter time, 30 seconds. Got down to a quick quarter, the half in 1:01 and 2/5. Just about the same as the last trip out. 3/4, 1:32 and 2/5. The mile, 2-1 and 2 for Mark Magic. So he now has 10 wins on the year. Came here with 8. He's going to leave town with 10. The 8-year-old gelding, that is the Iowa bred by the Rollins out of Iowa. I have a Sportsmaster mare called Moment of Magic. Sportsmaster for many, many years, the dominating pacing sire in Illinois. Again, the good little pacer, Idle Bird, is in memory of him. It's a tough little nut, race tough for Butch. Butch Douglas, that is. Coming down the racetrack, folks, into the winner's circle. He's used to being here. We're talking about Mr. Gabe Wand. He's the pilot today behind Mark Magic in 2-1 and 2. In memory of the Idle Bird. Nice job, Gabe. Horses, you see he's wearing the hood. You see the earplugs hanging out now. Those yellow things on his neck, those are earplugs. They're hooked to a little string. Nice job, Gabe. So sometimes these horses get a little excited when they're in a horse race, a little noisy, so they'll put these little plugs in their ears and they're hooked up to a little string of some sort. And whenever the driver is ready, thinks, okay, now you're up for a little noise, they just pull that. They pop. Now you got a horse that's really wired and wants to go. They work hard out there, folks, dragging these people around this track for a mile, racing their hearts out, all of them. They're bred to be racehorses, but oftentimes when they're done racing, they find a second life. They're not just pasture pets. Sometimes they become saddle horses, driving horses for other people, no longer racing. Starting judge, Mr. Dell, is calling these pacers to the gate for the final time today. Major Mac Millennial will be at the gate. Next door, 3 grand, and Major Mac with Quinn Schneider on the outside. Well, in the middle, that is, not the outside. 3 horses wide. Of course, you're always welcome to go back to the barn area after and see the horses and talk to the owners, trainers, drivers. Again, this in memory of Reed Remley, part of the Remley family, for great guy. Here they come in first away. That is your 3-horse, 3 grand, trying to grab the racetrack, and Major Mac is on the limb now as Quinn says, I want to go to the front end this time, boys. Around the top of the turn right now, 3 grand trying to get there. Keeping them out there a little bit as Major Mac and Millennial now drops to 3rd spot. As Gabe says, fine, I'll sit right here. You guys can do all the work on the front end, and I'll pick up the loose change in about half a mile. Down the backside quickly now, taking over. That's Major Mac moves over one more time, past 3 grand. That is 3 grand rather in command. 3 grand, then Major Mac.
31 seconds.
31 seconds of the quarter. They picked it up a little more around that lower turn. On the front end again, Mel Mullet with 3 grand. Right behind him, Major Mac, Quinn Schneider, and they go to Millennial with Gabe Wand. The field of 3 coming down that lane. Kicking up a little dust as they come to the halfway mile mark. Three good-looking pacers coming to the half, folks. The front end right there, there's your 3 grand right there. Right behind him again, Major Mac, Quinn hanging on.
104.
The half in 104, they're all going to be brave from here. Look for a bigger half. Again, 3 grand. Down the backside again, Major Mac, 3 grand Millennial. Watching them down the back lane, no change in the order. Here comes Millennial now, also on the move, trying to come right with them. That is Major Mac. There's 3 across the track. On the inside again, 3 grand.
4.
134 and 4 between horses on the outside again. That is Major Mac way out there again. Millennial having a tough time to get around these two. Down the lane for the final time. Can the horse that trains right here take this field home? Up in the middle of the racetrack now. That is Millennial finding a new gear, and he's found that gear. And Gabe steps on the gas just a little bit. At the mile will be the white face 2, 3, 1 under the wire. In that order, 2, 3, and 1.
3 and 4.
Well, they did exactly what they're supposed to do if they're going to.
1 was 3, 2 was 1, and 3 was 2. Tap down, 3, 2, 1. 2, 3, and 4/5, the time of the mile. 31 seconds to the quarter, the half in a minute and 4 seconds. 3/4, 34 and 4/5, the mile in 2, 3, and 4, the last quarter. In 29 seconds, they were rolling. So Millennial again adds one more win to his season here. I'll give him 8 so far for the year. Lifetime, it'll be at 66 wins. Make that, I'm sorry, they'll make it 27 wins out of 66 starts. Not a bad percentage.
Glad they're done. This is dust. Jeez.
Again, this is memory of Reed Remley, ladies and gentlemen. The Remley family involved in horse racing for many, many years, going back to Basel.
Really?
What was Brunsell Hart? What was Brunsell's first name?
Raleigh?
Raleigh. Was he married to a Reed girl or what?
Nancy Remley, Reed's mother, was a sister to Raleigh Brunsell.
Okay. Here's Scott Douglas down there. He's going to help catch that wild winning horse. Sometimes this white-faced horse doesn't like that winner circle all by himself, so they said, let's put a lead strap on him and help him get up here. Take away the headaches. My apologies for not knowing the folks that are down in the winner's circle. I'm sure they're part of the Reed's son?
Daughter and grandkids.
Daughter and grandkids. Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Remleys, for doing this, helping support this sport that's been so big part of your life. Nice job, Gabe. On his way to another Top Jock award come January. He's won it the last, since I think 1952 was the last time he didn't win one. All right, again, folks, we hope you enjoyed the program. It was a short program, but the weather was nice. We had good, close races. Again, races coming up. If you want to go to Belvedere, Illinois, on the 9th, they stay up there at noon. Back here, hopefully, Labor Day weekend. And the weekend after that, Richland Center. So, again, have a good day. Have a good